recording the call?
Hey guys, welcome to this football podcast's fourth podcast. And believe me, today the game that we have in our hand is one of the most important games of this season for Manchester United. Away to Leicester. Come on. So if anybody would have come to me and told me that 6 months ago we could have been in the Champions League position, I would have taken anything for it. And being 14 points behind Leicester in the season when we restarted the season, and then you know covering all those points and being in a position where we can basically, if we don't lose, we can basically grab the Champions League position for ourselves. That's a huge thing for us. Obviously, couple of players who have definitely played a big part for this Manchester United resurgence is one is Bruno Fernandes. Definitely going up there. And then you have got the little boy Mason Greenwood. What a player! And today United just have to make sure that they don't lose and they don't concede many goals, because definitely I feel that United has the potential to outscore Leicester. So, talking about this thing, definitely if you guys are watching this podcast, maybe live, or maybe if you guys are watching it later, try to subscribe, man. I'm trying to get this channel rolling, and we are introducing new supporters clubs every week, and we talk about football. And if you like football, and if you support any team, be it Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, Tottenham, any team, Real Madrid, just hit that subscribe button and like the video. If you don't like the video, just comment and tell us what you want to see in the upcoming podcasts. So you must be saying there is a scrolling test going down there. Today we have a very special guest, one of the biggest supporter clubs in India for Manchester United. We have got Manchester United Supporters Club Delhi NCR, and today let me introduce you to the guest of the day. We have got Vachas from MUSC NCR. Hey Vachas, how are you?
Yeah, hi Tanmay, I'm fine. It's really good to be part of this show, and since it's starting, so it's really nice for you to invite us over here. Like,
Thanks, man. My
it's,
pleasure, my pleasure. So excited, nervous.
yeah, emotions are running high. It's been very nervy ever since like the morale has been down since the Chelsea defeat in FA Cup. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, there's nervousness is in the air.
Cool. So before I, move on to the game, let me ask you a couple of things about the Manchester United Supporters Club. What is it about? What you guys are doing that is very different from the other supporters club? And I recently came across the Red Talks that you guys do for your podcasts. So can you bring some light on that?
Sure, Tanmay. So starting off, we have this supporters club has started around like we're relatively new. We have started around 2-3 years back with our president being Tilak Prakash.
Mm-hmm.
He's been pretty enthusiastic and getting the moral and getting his band of people together. So all the like-minded people and his friends like Jasprit and Nikunj
Mm-hmm.
and Nainesh, they came together and they started off this thing. And now it's been 2 years and we have this screenings which we are going on with at the Chartered House at Nehru Place.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been really nice to be part of it. I joined this supporters club back in January. So it was relatively I got to know it through the Facebook events which they host at
Mm-hmm.
Chartered House.
Mm-hmm.
So we have this like what sets us apart would be our new collaborations and our dedicated,
Mhm.
enthusiastic work towards
Mhm.
uh, providing a safe space for all Manchester United fans in India and
Mhm.
especially Delhi and NCR to provide them a platform
Mhm.
where they can come together and watch the matches. Like going about and meeting and interacting with Simon Peach, which is a very well-known, regarded
Mhm.
person in our football community.
Mhm.
Then having webinars with York, which we had, where personally I was also part of it and interacted
Mhm.
with him. So that was one of the dreams come true, thanks to MUSC Delhi NCR.
Definitely.
And our ending would be that what would be this that we are collaborating and we're coming up new. We're
Mhm.
hosting these Zoom meetings, which will
Mhm.
be talking about later after this podcast when it comes to near the end for the match.
Mhm.
So we have like exciting quizzes and cash prizes and everything is there. So that I think having a youth
Mhm.
population and in the committee and the management and
Mhm.
equal participation from all enthusiastic Manchester United fans and with the
Mhm.
podcast. So I believe that's what's setting us apart and we are coming up new in
Mhm.
this business.
Okay, so I also got to know about this Red podcast that you guys are doing. So can you just shed some light on that as well?
Summarizing the podcast in a bit, so this is a Red Talk is a podcast which would be a regular feature from now on, which would be posting a podcast every Sunday or
Mhm.
Saturday every weekend.
Mhm.
So what this basically about the last episode, the pilot episode, which was about the tactics and the mindset which we were going through and the squads and analysis done
Mhm.
between our committee members only and a guest comes over through the podcast. Now the guest last time was from Red and Black Talks,
Okay.
so I heard. So during that podcast we did with him was the pilot and the very first podcast, and we did it about the lineups and the tactics
Mhm.
which are being followed and how the season has been in a nutshell. So do check it out, and
Definitely.
it will be
So all
pretty
the
great.
guys who have joined us for the podcast live and people who are watching this maybe later on, all the links are down below in the description. You can go check Manchester United Supporters Club Delhi NCR, and you can like and subscribe their pages on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, right? So we're just coming to the game. So let me ask you the first question. Which Manchester United will show up today? So after the lockdown, we have been playing great. Everybody. So if we look at if we look at the table right after the lockdown, we are second in the league. Just right. I guess we are below City in this table, and definitely our games have been brilliant. If we look at all the games that we played during the first half of the games after the lockdown, but just after that, the last three games have not been that great. See at our players and we feel that they are exhausted. You talk about Bruno Fernandes, you talk about Matic, you talk about Pogba, and also the fact that apart from the starting 11 that we have, I don't think so that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer right now, kind of trusts the other substitutes that we have. We tried changing our formation and we tried bringing in new people, new players. For the Norwich game, we struggled that game. We won it 2-1 right after the extra time, and then we did the same thing for the FA Cup clash with Chelsea, and we struggled. And the games that we didn't change, we looked at our players, and all of them were kind of very tired, very fatigued, and the performance dropped. So for you, we have gotten close to 5 odd days rest for this game. So for you, which Manchester United will show up today?
So yeah, nice question. So hopefully the Manchester United which showed up against our run of wins where we were winning above 3-0 margins, above more than that shows up our prime United, which was like I think the one which played against Brighton, the most
Hmm.
mesmerizing, like
Hmm.
most beautiful that passage of play for Bruno's goal,
Hmm.
that blistering counter, which would definitely help us going in this match also. So hopefully that Manchester United turns up, which is relaxed, does not has the head ups, is not doubting themselves after the recent slump which is being seen. And yeah, they are tired. It's the end of the season, but it's just like one last match, and ending the season on a high would be pretty good for the players' model also
Hmm.
going into the Europa League.
Europa League or Champions. Oh, okay, Europa League. Right, right, right.
Yeah, the Europa League.
So I see Leicester to be one of the teams who kind of presses very high, and we have got Vardy who is always pressing the defenders, and we have got Tielemans and Ndidi in the midfield. Though Leicester is kind of lacking few players, but they press very high, and it is very similar to what Chelsea did in the FA Cup game and what your Southampton did at Old Trafford. So do you think that we are right now capable enough to, kind of wave off that pressing from the team, and then we can play our own game, or whether it would be more on the lines of counter attacks to Leicester?
Okay, so again, like how we have dealt with pressure has not been good in recent matches. Like to be honest and to be truthful, also that against Chelsea we were suffered. Like we set out a team which would soak in the pressure and hit on the counter, but that did not work.
Mm-hmm.
We were very sloppy, as you said. With the
Mm-hmm.
changed formation also was there, but we were sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, the last 20 minutes in the Southampton game was also very tough. That they were constantly there was constant pressure and there was high pressure upfield. So as you said, like they have Jamie Vardy, a striker which is very potent, and when if you give him a single yard of space, will terrorize the defense and then can punish you straight away.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a big concern going into the match, definitely. But I believe that soaking in the pressure and playing on the counter, which would work. As you could see that against the Spurs game which they played,
Mm-hmm.
the two quick goals which were scored by Harry Kane and by Tottenham were on the counter itself from the set
Mm-hmm.
piece, like from the counter. So a swift counter, since they're missing their two main full backs, Chilwell and Ricardo Pereira,
Mm-hmm.
and even James Madison, like more creative outlet. So I believe that hitting on the counter would be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But they could, and also considering that it's a must-win match for them for your UCL qualification.
Yes.
So they'll be going all out attack. And I believe that soaking up the pressure would be a good way to go about and hit the counter and play on the counter. But yeah, definitely that suits our style. We have those PC players in Rashford, Martial, and Greenwood. I believe that counter will be playing on counter, but let's hope so.
Cool enough. Cool enough. So,
Sure.
coming to the next question, we'll talk about the opposition. So, Leicester right now is lacking six first-team players. They do not have Soyuncu as a defender. They don't have Ben Chilwell. They don't have Madison. Ricardo Pereira is also injured. So, who would you feel that in that Leicester team would be someone we should take care of?
See, first of all, we should not undermine any opposition, in fairness to say, but wouldn't be bad for us also to attack them at their weak positions, which would be those fullback positions, since we could see them in the previous 2-3 games since Ricardo Pereira and Chilwell have been absent through injuries, that how they have suffered from that part of the pitch. Now it would be very interesting to see how Ole approaches the game and targets them. And talking about how Soyuncu is also not there, but they have a very good two good experienced center backs in the Premier League, Wes Morgan and Johnny Evans.
Johnny Evans.
So they are, and Evans being an ex-United player would be knowing how the strategy would be working out, since he was been in the time since Ole was at the club also as an
Okay, so coming back to the podcast. So definitely, as you said that they do not have their first choice, fullbacks in the game. So obviously, definitely, that's a plus point for United on the counter, because we have uses his space to go behind the centre backs. So do you think that what do you think that Jamie Vardy would be doing in this game?
So, like you said, so talking about touching upon two players in the squad apart from in general, which could be a pain for us. Like Tielemans in the midfield can be a big problem, a huge stumbling block for our players going forward. And his corner taking abilities are also decent enough to provide a good ball for Jamie Vardy. Now, again, as you said, Jamie Vardy is a player, terrific finisher of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
and excellent header, like good header of the ball also, and his pace, having blistering pace, is unbelievable, like over
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my opinion, I think he would be trying to target and would be instructed to target would be
Yeah, now it's fine. Fuck, man. Just a second. Yeah, this is done. This is done. Okay, just give me a minute, huh? So, hey guys, we are so sorry. Some issues with YouTube, and the stream got delayed for almost 20 minutes over here. Again, sorry for the delay. We'll continue the podcast from here on. So, yep. Cool, Vachas. So we were talking about Jamie Vardy at that point of time, I believe. So yeah, you were telling me about how United this the United defense can cope up with Jamie Vardy.
So yeah, the last thing we was talking about was basically Harry being a bit slow, having could have potential problems with Vardy, but
Mm-hmm.
having played with him, he might have a good chance as to knowing that yes, he plays. Not gonna make any major changes. It's gonna be the same, like Ole said after the match against West Ham, that it's gonna be the last match and it's
Mm-hmm.
last match of the season. So using, and it's a very crucial match. So using the tried and tested formation of 4-2-3-1
Mm-hmm.
with the same lineup which we played against Brighton and South
Mm-hmm.
Bournemouth. So I think that lineup would be only there. Matic and Pogba in the middle with up three, like Bruno in the number 10 with Rashford and Mason on the wings and Martial up front. With I'm expecting, would be very happy to see Luke Shaw back in the at the left
Mm-hmm.
back position since he has his rest.
Mm-hmm.
I think the same formation is going to be played, and David Daya also in goal only.
So you're going with
Not
the
any much changes from India.
so you're going with the same formation, which is 4-2-3-1, with Matic and Pogba as the two pivot
Yeah.
midfield, and then Bruno Fernandes. Uh, so, any news on
Number two.
Shaw? Any news on Shaw, which you have? Because he obviously was injured for the past two games, and we played Williams, who looked knackered in the games. So, do you have any idea about whether Luke Shaw is going to play, or do you think if he is not fully recovered, we should be playing him?
I think it would be like a test on his fitness, but I think we should start with Luke Shaw only as on the left. As
Mm-hmm.
he has been like, as you can see, that partnership between Maguire and Luke Shaw has a lot of like Ole has a lot of faith in those two partnership. So
Okay.
it would be very essential, like important to see Luke Shaw playing over there.
Okay. Okay.
He's a more
So.
reliable left back than Williams, right?
Okay, so who do you think from United would be the player who we would be relying more upon for scoring the goal?
It's tough to answer actually because as you can
Mm-hmm.
see, like we have the goals have been spread across the three players
Mm-hmm.
like Greenwood, Rashford, Martial, and
Mm-hmm.
Bruno also popping in between with the penalties or through the
Mm-hmm.
free kick, the goals.
Mm-hmm.
So it won't be like we can't say like as to who would be relying a lot on because you never
Mm-hmm.
know who's gonna score those goals
Mm-hmm.
when you're least expecting it. Then Martial
Okay.
is also there, so
Mm-hmm.
you can't pinpoint a player like they have Vardy. You can't pinpoint United scored that at a
Mm-hmm.
single player.
Okay, okay. So, since this is the biggest game of the season, and we need a draw, at least a draw or a win to make sure that we go for the Champions League position. Though there are chances that if Chelsea loses the game and if we lose the game as well, then also we'll go through. But not depending upon any other team, and on only making sure that we get the right result that we want. What do you think would be the score prediction for the game?
I think the score prediction would be 2-1 for us.
Uh-huh.
We'll win this match. Like
Hmm.
2-1 for us. Yeah. Don't see us keeping a clean sheet tonight,
Okay, so
honestly. So 2-1.
okay. Cool enough, man. Here I believe obviously this is one of the biggest game of the season. You guys are also having a Zoom meet in which you'll be calling up MUFC Malaysia, MUFC supporters club from Calcutta, supporters club from. Yes. So
Nepal.
Nepal. So basically, people who would want to join in that call, who want to see what's all the supporters club are having, as in if they, as in about their opinions and everything, you guys can join in. I'll mark the link below on the comment section, and you guys can join in. Um, Anything else, watch us?
Yeah, so I just like to add that since it's a very crucial game, like it's a date with Champions League
Mhm.
destiny because
Mhm.
it's where we belong. And
Yeah.
considering that it would be 100 million, it's basically 100 million match pound for 100 million pound match for us. Since that
Yeah.
Adidas clause is also there, if you dig up some
Yes.
information about revenue of qualification for Champions League, so it would be great.
Definitely, guys. Bachas, it was great to have you. I am dead sure a lot of viewers who have tuned in live with us. I'm sorry, guys. We faced some issues with the YouTube streaming software, and the podcast was not live for almost 20 minutes. So thanks for bearing with us. We'll be bringing in more podcasts in the future. Kindly subscribe the channel and hit a like, comment if what you want to see in the next podcast, in the coming podcast, and hopefully United wins the game. Okay,
Yeah, cheers, Tanmay.
cheers, man.